Right, welcome back, people. Welcome back to another one. Let's get this thing started, shall we? Let me turn the volume down. Let's get it settled in. Are we looking good? Looking good. I think we got it. I think we got it going good. I think it's working. Yep, looks like we're live. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, we're live. Thumbs up, we're live. Alright, guys. Welcome back. Glad you guys are here. Let's get this thing going, shall we? Alright, we have... Oh, well, how about... Hello, let me open up ESPN and get some... let me get some things going. Wow. I don't know what to say other than, like, this was the start to, start to the playoffs, start to, game one and all that entails. This was something. Which, you know what? Should we go? Let's go over the Penguins game first. Why not? Let's talk about the Pens a little bit, and let's talk about my kind of like initial thoughts, like first reactions. First reaction is obviously disappointment, because it's like I thought the Penguins could win this game, because the thing that I was thinking originally, and you're gonna get the series video prediction, guys, but I thought game one had, because you can't overlook, there's that huge stat percentage, and they talked about it in the Ottawa game, they talked about it in the Dallas game, which I loved the tone, and hearing the tone from the commenters and everybody talking about, the Wild are blowing out Dallas, and everybody's like, oh, they're fine, Dallas is fine, this is just one game, we got a long way to go. And then the Penguins lose by one, and like the world is on fire, and the Penguins can't get back in. Like, just the tale of two. Like, it's funny. It makes me laugh a little bit, because it's like, okay, let me we'll hop over here instead in a minute, because there are some memes. I want to look at some memes. We might look at some memes later and just, I don't know, not make fun of the Penguins, but just talk about it. But yeah, no, super upset about my boys. My original kind of thoughts and reactions to it too is the whole game just felt owned by the Flyers. It really did. I thought the first period was phenomenal. Like, the aggression, there was a little bit of extracurriculars after the whistle. Guys were getting into it. Like, the physicality was there. I mean, there were 81 total hits. Okay, so that was there. Sid got his hand caught in the cookie jar a couple times. He took a couple penalties in this one. The one at the very end of the game, I think, was actually very necessary, because honestly, the Rust goal, was, there was a minute left in the game. This thing was 3-1, it was over. But I think the penalty was kind of to try to set the tone, kind of like what Tkachuk did with Stahl, just started their game. But like, it kind of felt like there was no fight out of Pittsburgh all game. And I'm going to stick by Skinner, and because here's the thing. As much as Penguins fans might hate him and think he's an absolute bum, who could you hear through the TV every single time he got a stop? You could just hear a resounding "Stu." Like, he played great today. Okay, did he give up 3 goals? Yes. Was he probably the main reason on why they lost? Also yes. But you looked at a handful of like the last goal by Martone. Dude, that's a 19-year-old doing circles around everybody, and Art sucked in the defense so much, and then he just kind of went against the two of the goals were against the grain, kind of. And then, oh, look at that glove side, high bar. Yep, it's a weakness of Stewie's, but it is what it is. And I think, all things considered too, is it unraveled after this a little bit, because they went like bam bam. Yes, there were 7 minutes like separation, but maybe it was just with how many goals there were in the Wild game with the Stars. It felt like there were 3 TV timeouts total in this, because there were not too many. I mean, penalty wise, like if they went on penalty, they did a dual screen. Like they didn't just cut to commercial. And so like the periods went really fast. And because there weren't a lot of goals to take TV timeouts, like it stayed there. And oh gosh, was it the second period? Just with how quickly, like the game just went by super fast. And it did hit a little bit of a lull too, until Gino had his goal in the second. I will say that. But then after that, I got nothing much else other than yikes. Because I've said it, and I'm not going to shy away from it. There's parts of me that think whoever wins this series does get to the Eastern Conference Finals, because I think there is going to be a lot of pressure on Carolina, because there's no excuses for them not to win it this year. They are the number 1 team in the East. The Rangers aren't sitting in their way. The Panthers aren't sitting in their way. Tampa will be there potentially, like if they meet up in the Eastern Conference Finals. Toronto is not there, but I mean, come on, Toronto would have given you fits till round 2 with it. But out of when you look at the quadrant of the bracket, which in fact, let's go look at the playoff bracket real quick. You go look at it, and you go look at these 4 teams, objectively speaking, yes, because they are number 1 in the division. Best team here is Carolina. So Carolina should be penciled in to get to the Eastern Conference Final. And with how many times and with how many deep runs they've kind of had, I say that kind of because it's like, it's with an asterisk a little bit, because I mean, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, lost to the Panthers, lost in round 2 to the Rangers in 24, lost in the Western Conference Final in 23. So like they get far, but not like Stanley Cup far. But again, yeah, the 3 teams, even though Panthers would count as 2, they're not there. So like nobody. Yeah, one of the commenters said that, like, just unbiased off script of like, there's no excuses for Carolina. All the pressure's on them, and it's like, well, it's speaking kind of truth, because Carolina, I think, could beat the Habs. Carolina could beat Tampa. Carolina could beat Buffalo. Carolina could beat Boston. Like, Carolina could beat all of these. But once the playoffs get rolling, it's gonna pick up steam. It's gonna pick up a lot of steam, and we'll see. Because one of these teams is gonna pick up a lot of steam, and we're not, like, they'll just catch that momentum. And we felt it with Dallas last year. We felt it with Florida, especially. Like, I made a video probably a month before the Panthers won the Stanley Cup, and I was like, this is why they're going to go back to back. And it was road wins. And a huge overreaction to all of the action tonight would be, okay, the Flyers or the Wild, they're going to win the Stanley Cup because they can win it on the road. And that's a huge overreaction, because obviously, like, we got more games to go. But Tampa, the Avalanche in 22, Vegas in 23, Stanley Cup teams won on the road. Like, they were able to get, I think Florida set a record by 7. I think they won 7 road games in a row. Because the Leafs, I think the Leafs took 2 in Florida. And then game 7 was in Toronto. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But like, it was a big stat, and like that was kind of what pushed it over the edge, where I think, yeah, Panthers probably could win the Stanley Cup final again. Go back to back. All right. So that's the Penguins one. Penguins and Flyers. That's my initial thoughts and reactions on the game. Is that just Flyers came out hungry. They were getting it done. And wanna lean on K. Crosby's got to be the dude that carries. So the rest goal, I'm gonna take it with a little bit of an asterisk. I feel like the only player that showed up today was Gino. That's just me. But it's early. It's early. The way I was thinking this series went was Penguins win game 1, Flyers win games 2 and 3, Penguins win game 4, and then no. I think I had them zigzagging, and then Penguins win game 5 and 6. I think that's what I had. I had somebody. I had one where 4 was it Dallas and Minnesota, where I had Minnesota winning game 1, Dallas winning game 2 and 3, Minnesota winning game 4, and then game 5 and 6 for Dallas. I don't know. I'm gonna have to rewatch that video because I think I don't know, out of the whole playoffs, I don't know if we're gonna get this, and clearly with today's games, 2 of the 3, the road team won it. I don't know if we're gonna get like the Carolina series, yes. The Avalanche series, yes. But like Buffalo series, no. The Tampa Bay series, no. Who's the 2 in the West? Oh, Vegas. Ooh, Vegas, no. Edmonton, maybe Edmonton. But like, I don't think the home teams are starting out 2-0. I don't think so. I think the Wild won games 1 and 2 against Vegas last year. Edmonton won games 1 and 2 against Vegas last year. Like Vegas, when you look at Vegas's track record recently in the playoffs, they've struggled at home. Dallas today dropped game 1, like they struggle at home. I'm a little to be like, yeah, home team's gonna take a 2-0 lead in every single series for all 8 of them, pencil it in. No, I don't think that's happening. All right. Sorry, people, I've been rambling. Let's check the chat. You noob. No, you noob. You noob. You're a noob. No, I'm messing. Let's hope what's up. Let's get this over here. I try, though. I try. Okay, let's move to the next one. On to the next. Road to the Stanley Cup. No. Senators and Hurricanes. We'll talk about this one. Let's get into it. One thing that I was kind of curious and wondering coming into the playoff series was it going to be Bussy or Anderson that started on net? And maybe it's because it's Ottawa. I don't know. I don't want to like overlook it and be like, well, it is the 8th seed. But a shutout's a shutout. And 22 is not as impressive if this was high 20s, like 28 to maybe 30. As you guys can see, there were not a lot of shots, which I don't remember what the shots for the Penguins was. How many shots on goals? Because that, oh yeah, that was another thing. That was, okay, I didn't even mention that. That was very glaring in the Penguins game that the Flyers outshot them. Like, it was weird. Which I could have sworn this was such a higher number. Like, shots on goal, it was like 8-3 or something after the first period. But again, like, it's playoff hockey. Teams are feeling each other out. Like, did not expect. You go and look here. Like, this one ended. Like, this one was only 1 goal. The goal explosion happened in the second, you know, with the 3 goals. But, like, everything was kind of somewhat close. But, all right, let's go now So it was Stankoven in the second, 2 minutes in, and then Hall 7 minutes into the third to make it 2-0. Then Anderson with the shutout. I think this series I had Carolina winning games 1 and 2. Carolina winning games 1 and 2. Ottawa winning games 3 and 4, evening this series. But then Carolina shutting the door in game 5 and 6, because I don't see this thing going 7. It could, but I think, I don't know. Again, no excuses for Carolina. I could try to think of a reason, but no excuses for Carolina. A lot of people would think a sweep or 5. Something makes me think Ottawa has a little trick up their sleeve. And the other thing too is with how kind of close this game was, where there was only 2 goals. It wasn't a huge blowout. If you're keeping it somewhat close with Carolina, and this game was close, there's parts of me that think you're going to get 1. And if you can get 1, you can probably get 2 and stack it up. So, all right. Let's move to the middle game. Wild and the Stars. I don't even know where to start. I missed half of this game. No, not half of it. The majority of it. Oh, the power play goal. Okay, 3 goals. Oh, and then an empty netter. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-1. 5-1, because empty netters are weird. Like, yes, they count, but I mean, game was over. Don't know why Dallas pulled their goalie to even give. It's 5-1. It is 5-1. This game's over. I don't know why we're pulling the goalie. So yes, it counts, but I overlook and go, okay, whatever. What really was the damage here? These 3 right here. Their third period onslaught in the second. I don't know. Were there any injuries? Let me go look on any did not plays. I don't think it has any. Because I know people were talking about injuries potentially limiting the Stars, which I'll have to relook at that, because I don't know. I don't want to look at it as a huge excuse, and I'm not going to. I still think Dallas is going to win this one in 6 or 7 games. I think Minnesota can probably, with how much of a blowout this was, there's something that makes me think that Dallas is going to come back and game 2 is going to be a blowout, but in favor for Dallas to get back into this series. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be like a 3-2, 2-1, like low scoring game, like the Ottawa game with the Hurricanes, because there's like a weird thing when you watch hockey, like they just like teams reset after, oh, this is a playoff environment. We haven't been in this for a while. It's been a year. Let's settle back into it. Because you look at some of the players that went and played in the Olympics. I mean, Ottinger played 1 game, and like the Olympics were like the closest thing to playoff hockey sort of this season. I don't know. I know that's kind of like a far reach and a stretch, but like for teams to be ready to go 100% and just hit that kind of groove that they get towards like game 4, game 5 of the first round, that's not, teams don't just start out super hot. But I can see why a lot of people are thinking Minnesota. I saw one prediction today that had the Sabres against Minnesota, and it's like, huh? What? How far? Hey, let's go look at. I don't even know how far the Wild Stanley Cup. It's Wild Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup wins. Let's look up Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup W's have never won a Stanley Cup in their 25. Stanley Cup farthest? Western Conference Finals in 2000. Oh my gosh. So their most recent history, they have failed to advance past the first round. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I was watching THG. He talked about like Minnesota. There's a lot of hype, but again, Minnesota's sitting where Buffalo is, and the Flyers and the Penguins, where I think Minnesota's gone to 6 straight. I think since the bubble, they've made every single postseason that I can remember. And if they didn't make one, it was either 23 or 24 that they didn't go, because they were in it last year. And then but there's a lot of hype every year that, oh, they're going to get past the first, and they don't. Like, they'll play Vegas, or they'll play, who did they play in I think they played the Kings in 2022. Let me go look. Oh, the Blues. They played the Blues, and they didn't beat the Blues. Again, there's been a lot of hype around Minnesota winning the Stanley Cup, and I don't know. I'm not too bought in yet. Okay, and then we already did talk about too. Score-wise, we talked about. Oh wait, get out of the way. We did talk about the Penguins game. Penguins and Flyers 3-2. I think I'm not gonna overreact to it too much, but I think if I would panic a little bit if the Penguins go down 2-0. Because the thing, which again, it has been a very long time since the Penguins have gotten into the postseason. Watching this game kind of felt low-key like a regular season game, where it's like, oh my gosh, we haven't changed a bit. Like, which I know is so stupid to say. Oh, hold on, let me change this. I can tell my... Yep, it's going to do the... Nope, we are not doing that. We're streaming right now, we can't do the nightlight thing. Sometimes when I edit the videos and stuff, I gotta turn the... What's it called? Just like for the eyes and stuff. The eye sensitivity thing, though, so it's not so hard on your eyes with the nightlight settings. It started to click, and then I noticed it on a couple of my recordings that I did. Red, like that, because I don't notice it until like I watch it back. It's red. Like there's a huge like red or orange light flashing on my face, and it's pretty distracting. All right. Okay, let's go around the horn a little bit. Let's look at a couple other things. We got the Rockets and the Lakers. We can talk about that. I don't think we did see that. We could talk about that interaction with Coach Kerr, Steph, and Draymond getting together. This isn't their last rodeo. I think they're due for a little more. Okay, we have. Yeah. What is this? I didn't even watch this game. I was gonna make a joke and be like, "There was basketball today." Dude, I had no clue. The other thing too. 2 of them weren't even on major network television. They're on Amazon, and so it's like, okay, Glad I got to watch this game. I did see, I saw like a second of this game, a second of the game before I went into the theater. What I saw, I think I saw the halftime. Where's the halftime? Somewhere around the half where it was like close, but somewhere when Denver started to pull away. So it looks like they started to pull away there in the third, which, yeah, 29 points in the third versus 17. Yeah. Oh, and then the 10-point swing too, because it looks like Minnesota was up 33-23, and then they evened it out with 10 more, and then, yeah. So they won this game in the third. They won it in the third, and then they won it in sort of kind of like the final minutes of the game, because we got 95-99 with 6-ish minutes to go. Yeah, that's what's so unfortunate about, like, don't get me wrong, I love basketball, but that is what's so, again, I didn't watch this game, so I don't know, like, the ebbs and flows of the game, but, okay, Edwards had 22, okay, Murray had 30, there we go, Jokic 13 rebounds, okay, but look at how, so we're tied at halftime, and then this explosion right here, and like them, I don't know if this is because the Nuggets were playing better defense. T-Wolves caught a cold spot there in the third, and they weren't shooting good. But like when you look at the box score, you can tell that that third period is what made the difference on the Nuggets taking game one versus not. But then also, because a lot of games do this too, like we get around the 6-minute mark, that kind of final push of, come on guys, we're within reach. We, 89, 76, 91, 79. I would say Nuggets kind of let off the gas a little bit. Pulled it within 6, pulled it within 7, pulled it within 6 again, pulled it within 4, pulled it within 2. Yeah. Around that 6 minutes in the fourth. Like that's when, yeah. Basketball games are kind of a marathon. It's weird. It's weird because you could skip the whole, or you could do the whole, first half and second half, where if you want to watch a basketball game and know who actually dominated the game, just turn on the fourth quarter. I don't know. Free throws. Oh, that's not going to look good. That's not going to look good for, these are rookie numbers, man. Let's go see what the Thunders are after game one. I will. Okay, that is pretty glaring, the 33, because you take away their 14, they're around 90. Oh gosh, I'm not doing math. I'm not doing math on the top of my head. Wait, actually, yeah, let's do this. F it, we ball. No, we're doing math. Let's do some math here. Okay, so 14, 96, I think. 105. 105 minus 14, 96. Okay. Okay, that was bad. My bad. 91. That was bad. That was super bad. And then 16, minus 30. Oh, don't try to be a hero here. Somewhere around the 80s. 87. 116. Minus 30. 87. No! 86. Okay, I was close. Again, math on the top of my head. Not good. Not good. Did I turn the volume down? Hold on. Okay, good. I did turn the volume down. Oh, I almost accidentally closed out of the stream. On accident. Whoops. But again, this, I don't know. And with how the game went and played out, free throws, maybe they were playing Hack-a-Shack where, yeah, they were just getting after him and fouling him the whole time. Who was, let me go look and see who was, go Let's see who shot the most free throws. 16. Oh, gosh. So of his 30, 16 of it. So he really scored 14 points. That's boneless. That's a boneless 30 piece right there. Oh my. Jokic with one. Just one. One, yes, just the one. Oh dear. Okay. That you know, I'm gonna keep it 100. You know, not gonna double standard it. This is SGA levels. Where? Oh, what the hell? Where'd it go? Oh. Oh, there it is. I was staring at the 3-point one, but oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is pitiful. 0 for 8. Oh my gosh. Huh. Well, 10 for 36. 11 for 35. So there was no difference in the 3 ball. It was pretty even. Ooh. Nice little fadeaway. Nice little fadeaway one-hander. Okay, maybe it was free throws. Maybe it was free throws on why the Nuggets won this game. I'll have to watch the replay. I don't know. I was too busy watching hockey. I would have predicted the Cavs, Nuggets, Knicks, and probably would have predicted Rockets. Only because we knew Reeves and Doncic were going to be out, but then yesterday the news broke that KD was going to be out, and so that kind of made everybody kind of go, oh, okay. Because I'm not going to lie, and I do talk about it a little bit. I think Reeves and Doncic are going to be back and playing in this series. But I also made it apparent, like blatantly obvious to talk about too, where if they're not, and because it kind of even out because KD wasn't there for the Rockets either, but like if Doncic and Reeves are out and like it has to be just solo LeBron trying to kick, it's done. Wrap it up, put a bow on it. Rockets are moving on because I think I don't know. Yeah, you got Smart, but Ayton, Rui Hachimura, no. I've watched enough Lakers in the playoffs and listened to outside noise and people being like, nope. This is a big 3. Hold on, let me bring out the chug jug. This is a big 3. If Reeves and Doncic aren't playing good, they suck. So, yeah, I don't even know. What was the halftime score? Atlanta fighting. Okay, 57-55. They pulled away in the second. I mean, the second half, third right there. Not by much, actually. Never mind. We end the third by 7. Okay, Atlanta kept it somewhat close till, see that plateau right there with 6 minutes. Yeah. But again, nobody thinks Atlanta's winning this series. And if you do, you're crazy. I don't. I have a gentleman's sweep here. I don't think threes. Okay, they shot pretty even on the threes. Oh my gosh. Again with the free throws. Holy shit. Pardon my French. 25. So then, was the free throws the difference here too? Nope. Pretty even actually. 17 and 17. when it's glaring, when there's a glaring like UConn, Michigan, or there was one game last year in the postseason where like SGA had. Before I start spewing blasphemous, SGA most free throws in a game. 36 attempts. Yeah, because people clowned the hell out of this game because they're like, oh, he had 47 points. And it's like, dude also shot 36 free throws in a playoff. But it was a playoff game. 25 attempts. 25. Yeah, which game was it though? I think it was one of the T-Wolves games in the Western Conference Final, because there was, I think it was Game 4. It must have been Game 4 in the Western Conference Finals. Because no, it wasn't Game 4. It had to be. Oh my gosh, was it? Yeah, that ain't helping. I'm literally feeding it, and it's I need context. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm literally whatever. We're not wasting any more time on this. Anyways, it was one of the games because game four, because it was in Minnesota. Game 4, they did start purposely fouling him, and they were playing hack a Shaq. So I kind of took my step back a little bit, kind of on the foul baiting, because yeah, you watch that game, they were obvious, like they were swatting at him, versus the game before, or 2 games before. It must have been game 1 or 2 in the Western Conference Final against the T-Wolves, where he took those 26 attempts, because I looked at it and I was like, this is ridiculous, because he was whatever. I don't care. I'm already thinking about it too much. Okay, 107-98, Lakers win. I'll be honest. I thought Rockets would win this game 1, but I didn't double check. I didn't know KD wasn't playing in this game, because which I already did talk about. Yeah, no Reeves, no Luka. I guess no problem for the Lakers. Here's the thing though, with this game, you got to throw it away instantly, and that is because 3 of the top 5 players on the floor not even playing tonight. This could have been a regular season game, and because by some of the metrics, when I have checked in on regular season games and yada yada, literally someone will be sitting or there'll be an injury or whatever, so you kind of can't gauge that kind of game. That's what I got away from this game, on how we don't know how good the Lakers are going to be right now, because we don't know if, okay, maybe things are a little off with our play calling and scheme with Doncic back or something. And then 9 points. Yeah, 7, 8, 9 points were the difference. You don't think KD's putting at least 20 on the board? 20 to 25. So if KD's playing in this, but then also too, you got to count Reeves maybe 15 to 20, and then Luka's 25 to 30. So Maybe Lakers probably would have won this, but I don't know. It's a weird one. You can't look and focus on this one too much. Kind of got to look at it quick with a grain of salt and then move on, because maybe KD might be back next game. I don't know. But my prediction on this series in particular is if Reeves and Doncic don't come back, Rockets should win this. But if they do come back, which I do think they're going to come back, they're beating the Rockets in 6. But it doesn't. Yeah, but the truth is, it doesn't matter who wins this series. They're not beating the Thunder. No, it's not happening. It is not happening. Who else had a big game? So Kennard did with 27. Knee contusion. Dalton Connect didn't play either. Okay, that's why they won. Here's another big reason why they win. And this one's going to stand out too, is your starting 5 having double digits. That is very impactful. Ayton with 19. Okay, I'll give him credit on that. There have been a lot of games where I've looked and people have been like, dude, Ayton's just walking out there doing cardio. Okay. 19, Marcus Smart 15. Marcus Smart was never more of a scorer, though. He was more defense. Best player off the bench, I guess. Threes. Oh, well. Yeah, there's a quick 15, so you take 15 away from that 27. Yeah. Okay. Kennard back-to-back threes helps balloon the lead to 16. Okay, so he did literally steal game 1. Okay. Okay, Lakers stole game 1. All right. Let's get back to it. Who else? Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I'm not. Let's go see tomorrow. Who's playing tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Win. We might as well just sweep it all the way down the board. Home teams for the win. Did all the home teams win? Oh my gosh. See, that's the other thing too. When you look at, when people just talk about the competitiveness and just like why hockey is better than basketball or vice versa, because again, we'll never know the answer. We'll never be able to find one, and let's not pretend we will. But I just saw two road teams go and beat the home team that was, you know, yeah, Stars probably going to win game 1. Penguins are probably going to win game 1. And they didn't. Like, literally upsets. There is a video. Let me go look it up. Why underdogs? Is it by Secret Base? No, Vox. Why underdogs do better in hockey than basketball. Let's go look it up real quick. That right there. That's the thumbnail it's got. Sid and LeBron. I don't want to get copyright claims, so I'm not going to play any clips from it. All right, people. Let's wrap up the stream, shall we? Thank you guys for being here. We did a quick stream today. Just kind of quick reaction. Excuse me. I'm thinking about doing a meme too. I'm thinking about doing a meme for the Penguins losing tonight. I can't say it out loud because I don't want to spoil it. And I also I don't want anybody to